Students, today I am going to take the chapter from the main course book, uh, The Summit Within. This is from our book Honeydew, the 5th chapter, The Summit Within. Now, this chapter is about one very famous Everester, Major H.P.S. Ahluwalia, who climbed Mount Everest in 1965. In this chapter, he tells about the climb of Everest, the summit of Everest, but more importantly, he talks about a summit within ourselves, a summit that is in our mind. He talks about that summit. Summit means literally, summit means the peak, the highest point. So, climbing up to that is a summit. So, Major H.P.S. Ahluwalia was a member of the first successful Indian expedition to Mount Everest in 1965. The first Indian people undertook this expedition to climb Mount Everest and successfully completed it in 1965. So, he was one of the member. In this lesson, he tells how he felt as he stood on the Everest. When he reached the top of the world at the peak of Everest, at that time, how were his feelings? He tells in this chapter. On standing on the Everest, Major Ahluwalia felt very humble, very gentle, thankful. Though after climbing such difficult peak, he was very tired physically, and instead of being very happy, he was jubilant and sad. He was very happy because of success, jubilant, but in the meantime, at that same time, he was also sad. And why he was sad, he was not sure of the reason. He wondered, he thought maybe this sadness was because now there was no higher peak to climb, because he had already climbed up the highest peak of the world. So, there is nothing higher to go now. That's why maybe he is sad. Ahluwalia says that after climbing Everest, he felt a deep sense of joy. He was very happy, excited, and this excitement, this joy was to last, to remain the rest of his life. He says that this joy will be with him uh, all over, all through his life, and he also felt thankful to God that he was able to do this feat. Then Ahluwalia says that he had climbed a summit, the peak, but he thought of another summit, and this was the summit of mind, the summit within. Now he talks ki what is this summit within? This is the summit of mind. He says ki everybody has a summit to climb in his own mind, and he came to the conclusion that in order to climb a summit, a person needs three qualities, and these are endurance, persistence, and willpower. Very important, these three qualities are, remember, endurance, persistence, and willpower. These are the three qualities. Endurance means tolerance, sahan shakti. Persistence means firmness, dradhta, and willpower, determination. So these three are the main qualities which any person needs in order to climb a summit. It is only with the help of these qualities that a man overcomes the obstacles, a man overcomes the problems on the path. The climbing of a summit is thus a demonstration of these three qualities. So, if you if, if you climb a summit, means you are demonstrating, you are showing these three qualities. And that is why men take delight in overcoming obstacles. He says that it is human nature to take challenges. Why human being take challenges? Because they take joy, they take delight when they overcome these obstacles, when they overcome these problems. Human feel very delighted, satisfied. It is the human nature. Now he tells ki why he chose to climb Everest. The question arises ki why he chose to climb Everest. So he tells that the first reason is that he has always loved mountains. First reason, he loved mountains, and Everest is the highest and the mightiest of all the mountains, and it is a great struggle against rock and ice. Climbing Everest means a struggle. There is only rocks, there is only ice. So, after climbing this summit, there is a joy of having done something which only a few people can do. So, you will be satisfied with the joy that something great you have done, which only few people can do. Looking at the peak from a distance, Ahluwalia is transported to another world. He imagines himself into some another world. He has a mystical feeling, some magical feeling he has. In fact, the difficulties of climbing Everest are huge, very big. Difficulties are there, but this is what attracts him to it. So, second reason he tells these challenges, it is a challenge that he finds difficult to resist. So, the challenge the Everest presents in front of the climber, this is such a challenge that he cannot resist himself. He cannot stop himself to take up that challenge. So, Ahluwalia says that the call to face the challenge of overcoming the obstacle was irresistible. The second and important reason he tells, climbing the Everest, which presents such difficult challenge, it is a call to face the challenge, to overcome the obstacle, and he cannot resist. He cannot ignore or deny that challenge. Now he tells climbing Everest is not just a physical achievement or conquest or victory. It brings fulfillment and fame. It brings satisfaction. It brings fame. Person becomes famous. And besides, the experience is emotional and spiritual also. Climbing Everest is not only physical, but it is also spiritual and emotional experience. Climbing mountain also gives us lessons in comradeship. He gives an example here. Comradeship means kind of teamwork. Comrade means your companions, which are your teammates, and this is the sense of teamwork. So he gives an example. While climbing, two persons have to share a rope. One cannot climb it alone. They have to share the rope, and one climber holds the rope firmly while the other climber cuts the steps in the hard ice. Then he belays and the other climber inches his way up. Means with the help of that rope, the other climber also inch by inch climbs higher and higher. And famous climbers have left records of the help given by others. It is all about the comradeship, means the teamwork. Means many other climbers have also told about the help given by others. They were not alone to do this, and they have told that they could not be able to do it without others' help. A single man cannot simply think of being a climber. It is not only the physical difficulties which will stop him, deter him, the difficulties are emotional also. And in all those moments, the comrades draw inspiration from each other. The partners, the comrades, or the teammates, they just get motivation, inspiration from each other. Then only they are able to do such a difficult task. And while coming down the Everest, looking down from Everest, the climber feels that the effort was worthwhile. It was a worthy effort that they had done. It is an ennobling experience. Ennobling means giving wisdom. It is elevating, that rises you up, that type of experience it is. The climber bows down to God when he reaches at the top. He feels thankful to the God, and climbers many a time leave some symbols of reverence there, some signs of reverence. Reverence means homage, or what you can say, Shraddhanjali. Just for symbol, they leave some of their things there. Like Ahluwalia left a picture of Guru Nanak. Another member of the group, there was Mr. Rawat, he left a picture of goddess Durga. And there was a Buddhist named Fudorji, he left a relic, a small statue of Buddha. And Edmund Hillary, you must have known Edmund Hillary's name, and he left there, he buried a cross of Jesus Christ under a cairn in the snow. So these were different things which climbers left there as symbols of reverence. These are all symbols not of conquest. These are not symbols that I have conquered it, I have won this peak, I have reached here, that's why I am leaving this as a mark of my victory. No, it is not that symbol of victory. It is of reverence, it is of homage, it is like Shraddhanjali, okay, or giving respect. So this is the symbol of respect. So the experience of being on the Everest changes a man completely. Those feelings, those emotional feelings, those spiritual feelings are there. He talks about it, and he says that it is a life changing experience. Moreover, when he talks about the summit within, he says that each man has within him his own mountain peak. It is each man has within him his own mountain peak. It is fearful and unscalable, that a man feels it impossible to do, which cannot be climbed, unscalable. That type of peak everybody has in his own mind also, like for Everest. Yet no one else but that man has to do it himself. Even then, as it is within him, so nobody else can climb that mountain for him, nobody else can climb that summit for him. The person has to himself do it, and climbing this inside peak is like climbing Everest. It is similar to like climbing Everest. We have so many emotions, feelings, difficulties, problems, everything which may be presenting great problems in our life. So those are the peaks we have to climb up, and those are within our mind. So we can only, we are the one who can climb it, nobody else can. And this is not less than climbing Everest. The efforts in climbing are same. Both the climbs change you. The internal summit is perhaps higher than Everest. At last, he says that this internal summit, this summit within your mind, is perhaps much higher than Everest. So, this was the chapter, The Summit Within. I had explained you, and with this, I am also sending you the question answers of this chapter. You have to do those question answer also. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.